So the next day, I waited until Tina got home and asked her if we could talk. She looked annoyed, but she sat down, arms crossed, clearly ready to defend herself. Look, Tina, I started, I don't want this to keep going on like this. You're my daughter, and I hate feeling like there's this huge wall between us. She scoffed, rolling her eyes. You built that wall, Dad. You act like I'm the only one holding a grudge, but you're the one still punishing me. Her words stung, but I kept my tone calm. This isn't about punishment. You hurt someone you were close to, someone who trusted you, and then you stayed with him like it didn't matter. It's hard for me to just look past that. She looked away, clearly frustrated. I know I messed up, but I care about him, Dad. I'm not with him to hurt Maya. I'm with him because I actually like him. I took a deep breath. I get that, but you have to understand from my perspective, it feels like you chose him over a friendship you had for years. You can't just pretend this didn't happen. Tina hesitated, then said, I tried reaching out to Maya after it happened, tried to apologize, but she doesn't want anything to do with me, and that's her right, but it hurts, and Jake, he's the only thing that makes it hurt a little less. Hearing her say that threw me off. I'd always seen her staying with Jake as selfish, but maybe it was more complicated than that. Maybe she was just trying to hold on to something that made the fallout easier to handle. It didn't make it okay, but it made me understand her side a little better. I get that this has been hard for you too, I said finally, but you have to accept that Maya may never forgive you. I want to be here for you, but I need to feel like you're learning from this. She nodded slowly, her eyes softening a bit. It wasn't a fix, but it was a start. For the first time in months, I felt like we might actually find a way through this mess. Thanks, Dad, she said quietly before heading upstairs. It was just a small gesture, but it gave me a sliver of hope. We still had a long way to go, but I was willing to try if she was. Update, a few weeks after our talk, things were finally starting to feel a bit more normal. Tina wasn't back to her old self, and we weren't magically close again, but at least we were talking. I could see she was making an effort, and so was I. It felt like we both accepted that it would take time to really move forward. Then one night, she came home looking completely shattered. I could tell she'd been crying, her eyes were red, makeup smudged, and she just looked defeated. She didn't even make it to her room, she sat down at the kitchen table and just stared at the wall like she was trying to hold herself together. I asked if she was alright, even though I knew the answer. After a long silence, she finally muttered, Jake cheated on me. She looked down, embarrassed and hurt, like she didn't want to say it out loud but needed to get it off her chest. Hearing it hit me harder than I expected. I felt angry for her, disappointed, and honestly, a bit speechless. All I could think was, of course he did. I wanted to say something comforting, but nothing really felt right. She started talking, her voice shaky. He'd been acting weird for a while, and I guess I ignored it. I thought, maybe he was just stressed, but then, the other day, he slipped up. I found out he's been seeing someone else. She stopped, and I could see the weight of it sinking in for her. He's been lying to me this whole time. I didn't say I told you so, but I think she could see it in my face. Instead, I just put a hand on her shoulder. I'm really sorry, Tina, I said, and I meant it. I knew that in her own way, she cared about him, and this was hitting her hard. Tina shook her head, wiping her eyes. Maybe I deserved it, she whispered, like she was struggling to even believe what she was saying. I didn't agree with that. Sure, she'd made mistakes, but nobody deserves to go through this. Look, Tina,